Hi, good morning, and welcome to Live with Joy. I'm going to give it a few moments for everybody to find that post, and we're going to start to discuss what we're going to be doing today. And I'll repeat this in a little bit as we start to get more people that come on. But you will see in front of me that I have two pieces of equipment, three actually, if you include my mat, and that is a weighted ball and a dumbbell. So those are the two things that we're going to use today, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Let's just go over what we have been focusing on this week while I kind of wait for everybody to come in. And we have been focusing on opposing muscle groups. So we have been doing muscle groups that work together to move certain joints of the body. So all week we have had so far our back, shoulders, and chest that work together to move the shoulders. We had our hip day on Tuesday, which helps to move our hips forward and back, side to side. So all of those muscles of the internal and external hips and the anterior and the rear part of those hips that move everything, again, forward, back, side to side. And yesterday we did our biceps and triceps that move the elbow joints. Today we are focusing on our core. And I'm doing something a little bit different. Yes, we have core muscles that are opposing as far as the abs go and the lower back go, but I want to think of the core as a whole today. And what I'm going to concentrate on are the external and internal muscles of the core. That means that bracing that happens when you do certain exercises, the pull inwards towards your body, that works those internal muscles. If you're going to get punched in the stomach, or if something happens, you kind of brace that stomach, and that kind of helps to support your body. So that internal core strength is just as important as that external core strength. So when we think about just working all those abs and doing abs and abs and abs, yes, we're getting some of that internal core work. But what I'm going to do today is going to really think about the core as a whole, where we're going to work external and internal exercises that are going to really think about the entire center all the way around, and not just those external muscles of the abs, but also the internal bracing muscles we're going to be working today, okay? And we're going to do that in a series of things standing and also on the ground. So you're going to want to have that mat. We're going to alternate between standing work and grounded work, and we are going to use a weight today. So I'm going to bring in something fun, and if you have, you can use it as well. This is a weighted ball. So it's almost like, feels like it's filled with sand, and it is 8 pounds. But if you don't have a ball, and a lot of you probably don't, and that's fine, just use a dumbbell. So this is an 8-pound dumbbell. You can use 8 pounds, you can use less. It's really going to depend on you and your strength, not just in the core, but there's going to be some movement through the upper and lower body. So you'll have to decide what to go with. You could go as high as about 12 pounds, but make sure if you're going to that higher weight that you can control those movements throughout the exercises. If you can't, then take that weight down, go for something lighter, okay? You can go as light as just having a 1-pound weight, just to have something in your hands. So you'll kind of see. Some of the groundwork is a little bit different. I'm gonna have to show you the differences between using the dumbbell versus using the ball, and then also some modifications. Some of the groundwork, I'm not gonna lie, is going to be a little bit difficult, so you are gonna have to use some of the modifications, but I'm gonna show you the harder moves that really, really engage that core super, super difficultly if you can actually get into some of those positions, okay? So if you're using the dumbbell, you're gonna be holding it like this for the standing work, and in the grounded work, I'll kind of show you how you're gonna be holding it. But for most of the time, you're gonna be holding it like this, except for some exceptions on the ground, okay? So again, I am going to use the weighted ball. The first exercises that we're gonna do, you'll be holding your dumbbell like this, and I'll be using that ball. But first, we need to warm it up. So let's do that first. We'll go through our series of warm-up exercises just to get that center warmed up. March it out. We want to make sure that we've got not just the core, but the arms and the legs warmed up as well, because they will be also be moving with some of those exercises and being engaged. So again, sometimes when we're focusing on one thing doesn't mean that other things are not moving and working. Other muscles of the body are kicking in to assist the movements that need to happen. Let's feel it out with a little press to the front. Let's go 8 more here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, step, touch. Take it side to side. Last 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, reach across and tap, reach. 8 more times, last 8. 4, 3, 2, reach it overhead, up. Really get those arms moving. They're gonna have to hold that weight today. So they're gonna get a lot of that resistance. Those muscles of the upper body are gonna be working. Not just on our feet, but also on the floor. Let's take it across. When it holds your body weight as well. So really get those arms moving. You wanna get them warmed up. This is why we got this warm up today. That really includes the arms. Last 4, 3, 2, hamstring curl, pull back. 8 more, last 8, 7, 6, last 4, 3, use the front and pull down, reach and pull. Big arms, big arms. Once we start those circuits, arms are gonna have to hold that weight. So really get them nice and warm. Last 4, 3, 2, hamstring curl and pull. Last 2, let's reach across and tap. 4, 3, 2, reach it overhead, up. 4, 3, 2, back across, let's reach. 4, 3, 2, step, touch, and press. 4, 3, 2, heel across and press. 4, 3, 2, march it out. So we got 2 exercises to focus on each circuit, either on our feet or on the floor. Let's keep marching, roll the shoulders back. 30 seconds for each exercise. On our feet, 5-second transition. On the floor, I'll give you 10 seconds. Take it wide. Hands on those thighs and hinge forward with a flat back. Let's hold. And roll it up halfway, stretch that spine. Take that flat back down and roll it all the way up, allow that head to come up last and roll the shoulders back. Okay, so now if you have the dumbbell, you're holding it like this. Okay, if you do have a weighted ball, you're holding it same way, except it's a different position. You're really holding it with the grip of those fingers. We're gonna extend the weight of the ball right out from the belly button and back in. Now, I want you to think about the bracing. So as I extend that ball out, I'm pulling that belly in the opposite direction of where that ball is going. Second exercise, we're going to do a halo around the head with a reach to the foot, circle around, and reach to the foot on the other side. So every time you come up, you want to circle around that head, and then you'll go back right here, okay? We have 5-second transition to reset on this one. In 3, get set in front of that belly button. In 2, and go. On that clock for 30 seconds, right here. Pushing it out right from that belly. Okay, you're either holding onto that dumbbell with each hand, or, again, right here, just something a little different is that weighted ball. You don't have to have that weighted ball, but if you do, just a little bit different of a feel that you've got to hold on and move with. And you're going to actually feel, especially if you have that ball, your fingers really need to work a little bit. So the muscles of the fingers work to grip onto that ball. Let's pull it in and get ready to circle around that head, reach for that foot, circle around on the other side, and reach for that foot. So right here. And what this is doing is working the entire core muscles inside and out. Once again, all the exercises that I'm doing today are not just focusing on one particular area. It's really thinking about that core as a whole. So it could be working the lower back, it could be working the abs, internal core, or a combination of 2 or all 3 of those things. Good, take it to the center and push out right here as you pull that belly in. So a lot of this is not going to be easy work today, but just do the best you can. To make it easier, you go slower, or you can go with a lighter dumbbell. Good. Once again, as we extend that ball or that dumbbell out in front of us, we are pulling the belly in the opposite direction. Really want you to think about what that internal core is doing on that move right there. Let's circle around that head, reach for that foot, and then we're coming up. We're using those abs and that lower back to pull you up right here as you then come and circle around, bracing that center to keep that center in locked in position. So you are training that core how to brace itself in these exercises today. And that's going to help you in your daily functional life. Once again, like I said, if you were to take a fall, your core would automatically know how to brace itself. Hopefully balance you, and then maybe not even fall down. So if you slip, if your core braces, sometimes you can catch yourself. So that's what we're really trying to train here. But this is going to help you with balance, it's going to help you with stability, it's going to help you with strength. Everything stems from that center. So the more you can get that core strong, internally and externally, usually the stronger everything else stemming from it will be as well. All right, let's go. Circle around that head and reach down to that foot. Circle around, reach down to that other foot. Good, big circle around that head when you come up. Good, getting that last one in. And coming up center, last and final set right here. Pull that belly in as you extend that ball out in front of you. Focus on that internal center right here. Good, really make those internal muscles strong. Think about it. I want you to think about it and feel that engagement in that center here. Every time you extend that ball out, your stomach needs to engage. Get that last one in. Good. And final set right here. Circle around that head with that big circle. Reach for that foot and pull that up. Bracing that center as you come around that head. Good. Using those obliques and using that lower back as you come up from reaching for that foot. Good. Okay, I'm going to take the ball and I'll take a weight. We're going to come to the ground. So make sure you are in position. I'm going to set the clock so we have our 10-second transitions in between. Okay, and watch me. We're going to lower onto our back here. We're going to extend the legs. I'm going to show you the hardest one first. And take that dumbbell or that ball right up here. We're going to bring the ball or dumbbell to the toes, lower it down, and then if you can, drop those legs down enough. Now, if that's too much, go with one leg at a time. If you can't drop the legs, just do the lift. And if you need to, place the feet on the ground and just do the lift there. You can also bring one knee in at a time. You can bring both knees in if you want to do an option there as well. And then we're going to flip it over and watch me. We're going to do our bear pose with one hand on that ball or that dumbbell. So see how I have one hand on the dumbbell there? So you want to use a bigger one. You don't have to use the dumbbell. You can put the dumbbell to the side if it's uncomfortable. But this is going to make you brace a little more. See how I am engaging my center, lifting my knees, and I'm going to tap my shoulder with the opposite hand. Now, easier would be to tap the shoulder with the one that's on the ball or the dumbbell. Harder is going to be tapping with the other one. Okay, so you can decide, or you can just work on that bear pose move, and that's bracing your core. Hands can be on the floor, just with the knees, and lower down. Tap one of those shoulders. Okay, you decide. All right, get set in position with the legs up if you can. We're reaching that weight to the toes, and then lowering the legs in 2 and 1. The 4 sets are on that clock. So dumbbell or that weighted ball, lift it, bring it to the toes. Lower one or both legs. And again, if you can only do one of those, that's fine. If you need to keep the feet on the floor, that's fine too. And right here, of course, we're getting those abs in, but you're gonna get that internal core and lower back muscles working here as well. All right, let's rotate over. Get that ball or dumbbell. Let's take that hand on the ball or dumbbell right here if you can. If not, it's on the floor. And then first thing you're doing is just lifting the knees. And then if you can add that shoulder tap. Now again, I'm going to do the harder move, which is tapping my opposite shoulder with the hand that's on the floor. If you want to make it easier, tap it with the hand that's on the weight of the ball, and that will be easier. But right here, to have to hold onto that weight of that ball makes it harder. And you've got to internally brace that core. Lower back is at work there. Rotate over with that dumbbell or that ball. Extend those legs up. Extend the ball up. Beat down if you need to. And bring that ball to the toes. Lower those legs down. I don't always expect you to do all of these, so I am giving you so many different modifications, guys. Make sure you take those modifications, okay? If you can't do the easiest move, then you can't move on to a step above that. You're going to still work on that level 1, okay, that base move. You need to get that strong first, okay? So when that comes to this one, it's all about that bear pose. So if you can't manage that bear pose without holding on to that ball or weight, then you can't add that weight, okay? If you can manage that, now we can take it in our left hand, and you can focus and work on lifting those knees with having one of those hands on the ball or weight. And then if you can manage that, you can start to see if you can add that shoulder tap, maybe starting with the one that's on the ball to make it easier, and then you can make it up to where that hand is on the ball and the other hand taps that shoulder. Okay, but you're just going to work on a bear pose and forget that shoulder tap if you're not up to that level yet, okay? But I like to show different levels so that people who are more advanced, they know where they can be as well. Lift to reach for those toes and lower down. And again, same thing here. This is the hardest move that we're doing here. You can, again, if you're not up to this level, you're lowering one leg. If you're not up to that level, then the feet are on the floor. Okay, this would be the first level, just getting that crunch with that weight. Second level would be adding one knee at a time. And the third would be adding both feet. The next one would be adding the legs up and just reaching for the toes, so on and so forth. Let's rotate over. And again, you're working on either just the bear pose, no weight at all, or it's back in that right hand, working on just lifting those knees up and down, adding the shoulder tap, okay, with the one that's on the ball would be the hardest. The one with the hand on the floor, leaving that hand on the floor and tapping with that hand on the bigger ball would be a little bit easier if you're adding that shoulder tap. So again, do it in steps. If you can manage that step, super easy, and it's not challenging anymore, that's when it's time to go up to your next step or level, okay? All right, let's rotate over, and one more time. Again, if you're not ready to lift the legs up, you're gonna be here. If you can lift the legs up, you're gonna be here. And you're either just lifting and reaching for those toes, adding that reach and dropping one leg at a time, or dropping both legs at a time. So again, find what level you are at. You've got 4 sets. You can play with those levels. You can do level 1 the first set, and then if that felt easy, go to level 2, and so on and so forth, okay? So you can play with it. If you go to level 2 and you feel like you couldn't do that, well, then you're not ready for that level, so you'll take it back to the level below. All right, let's go. Once again, bear pose without adding that weight. In that left hand if you're adding it. Shoulder tap if you can go further. With either hand, find which one you can manage. Once you lift those knees up, that's where that core braces. All right, guys, come on up. We're going to change that clock back to 5 seconds transition. Good, good. Watch me, okay? Once again, holding your dumbbell like this, or that weight's in the hand. We're gonna keep our elbows bent just like we started before, but now we're gonna bring it up and over our head, as far behind our head as we can go. Bracing that core with that movement that comes up and down. I want the elbows, see how my elbows stay bent the entire time? It's a ball toss, like we're trying to toss it behind our head, but we're not gonna let go, okay? And then we're gonna get the legs wide and we're doing diagonal touchdowns. One side, so we're gonna reach for that foot, rotate and reach up and over that other shoulder, okay? So we're starting right in front of that belly, keeping those elbows bent. We're tossing that ball behind the head, coming back to that belly, into, and one, go, you're on that clock. Over that head, and take it down. So I'm gonna just show you sideways, so you can see exactly how this looks. And I am bracing my core, because if I wasn't, I'd have all kinds of things happening in my center. So I can feel, every time I change directions to go up or to come back down, I can feel my internal core bracing. That's what I want you to pay attention to and really concentrate on. Good. And take those legs out wide, make sure they're out wide. Reach for that left foot. Let's rotate and reach up and over that right shoulder. So now we've got that lower back, that internal core, and those obliques firing up for that twist. All on that one side right here. Good, take that weight right in front of that belly, keep those elbows bent, and bring that ball over that head. Good. Rotate, or I'm going to rotate back center. Reach for that right foot. Rotate and reach up and over that left shoulder. You're following that diagonal line of that body and getting that twist as you come down to that foot and a twist as you come up and over that shoulder. Good, take it down in front of that belly. Once again, I'll come sideways so you can see me. And for those of you working with the ball, I don't know if any of you are, but you might start to feel those fingers are getting fatigued because they're gripping that ball. So you're getting muscle work in your fingers, just like if you were to be squeezing a stress ball. It's the same idea. My fingers are holding onto that ball, so I'm actually getting this kind of muscular work in my fingers by using that ball. So that's kind of the benefit of that ball, but it can get a little bit tiresome. All right, right here, we're going back to that left foot. Rotate and reach up. Good, last and final set. Let's bring that weight right in front of that belly and throw it over that head again. We're not letting go. So you have to keep that weight in your hands and you gotta engage that center, especially that internal center, as you switch directions with those arms. Good, take it back to that wide stance, reach for that right foot, rotate and press up. 5 more seconds. We're taking it to the floor. If you need water, go ahead and get it, and then make your way down to that ground with your weights. And I'm going to reset the clock to our 10-second transition time. And once again, then a couple exercises. Not necessarily easy, but you're going to find where you can go with it, okay? So if you're going to hold on to that dumbbell like this, or I'm going to use that ball. We're going to have extended legs, and we're going to pull one knee in, and that knee that we pull in, we're going to twist into. Now, I don't have to come up. I can just take the ball to that side of that leg and just lift that shoulder. If you can come all the way up, you're going to bring that knee in towards you and then twist over that knee, okay? If it's too much, you can bend, okay? And you can come here, lift that shoulder, okay? You can just take that ball from one side to the other side without bringing a knee in. All right, and then our next exercise, we're gonna take our hand on the ball again, or on the dumbbell, holding it like this, or on the floor. We're gonna come into a child's pose, lift up and into that plank. So this might be all that you're working, okay? But if this is easy and not challenging enough, watch me. We're gonna reach for our ankle when we come up. Okay, try to keep that ball, that hand on the ball or the weight, but if that's too much to stay there, do the other side, okay? Because that you might be used to. And so then you'll do the hand that's on the ball or the weight, okay? So we got some options there. We're gonna start with that knee and twist, or just that twist, bringing it up, that crunch and twist, or that sit up and twist. In 3, 2, and go. So once again, those feet could be down, and you're just going to take the ball. You can even extend it out if you want to, okay? Extend it here, bringing that knee in, and taking it to the side of that knee. Or if you can come all the way up, this is where you twist and take that ball towards that floor, okay? So if you're on that ground, you can just lift that shoulder, or all the way up if you have that nice strong internal, external, and lower back strength. That's all going to be needed for that move to come all the way up. Right here, sit back on those heels, hands can be on the floor or on that ball. And again, we're either working on just coming up into that plank from that child's pose, or adding in that reach to that opposite ankle or knee, wherever you can reach. And again, hardest one is going to be to keep the hand on the ball or on the handle of that weight as you move and reach. But if you move the opposite one, so see if I do that one, it's easier, okay? So do what is more manageable for you. Remember your levels and steps and what you're capable of doing. Lower down, extended legs if you can. If not, keep them bended. And once again, we could just be coming off to the side of the body, bringing that knee in, taking that ball to the side if you can. And if you can come all the way up, we're coming up and twisting to the same side that the knee is coming up. But if that's too much right here, just draw the knee in and lift one shoulder up. Just lifting the shoulder up. You can bend the knees to keep more back support if you need to. And right here, take it into the left hand, that dumbbell or that ball if you're using it. If not, push it to the side and just put both hands on the floor. Again, first thing you want to do is focus on lifting into that plank. If you feel you can add there, okay, you can take the one that's on the ball to be easier, or you can leave your hands on the ball and reach for the opposite, which is going to make it harder, because you got to have more stability in that left arm that's on the ball or on that dumbbell. Good, that last one in, and bring it down onto that floor, on your back. One more time, again, if you're bending the knees, you could take a knee up here on one side, extending it, bringing the knee up, just lifting one shoulder, or come all the way up, and twist to the side of that knee that's coming up. And make your way up. And again, getting into that child's pose position. Back to the right hand if you have that hand on the ball or the dumbbell. And again, working on just lifting into that plank position from that child's pose. We're adding in that reach to that ankle, lifting those hips up as you do. Good, and I'm just going to quickly do it with the dumbbell. Now, once again, I have a thicker dumbbell. It's an 8-pound, which makes it like you can handle on the floor. Okay, so it's the same thing, except my hand is holding onto the dumbbell rather than onto the ball. A little harder if you have the ball, a little more stability in that arm that needs to be maintained. Right here, again, just lifting one shoulder. We're coming all the way up and to the side. So there are benefits to having that ball. You're gonna have, again, those fingers and those wrists even having to work, and those forearms, the way that you have to hold that ball. They're going to be fired up by using the ball. And then with the grounded work that we're doing in those plank positions and that body weight position, you're going to work more stability through that arm with the ball. Okay, so one more time, we're going to go to the left side. So again, holding onto that handle or that ball. Okay, that's going to create more stability of that arm. Either way, but again, the ball makes it a lot harder to come up and balance yourself on. And then if you want to get deeper into it, now we're going to reach for that opposite ankle or even that knee. And that's going to make that arm have to stabilize even more, balancing on that ball or that weight, all on its own, without the help of the other one. And done. Awesome. Okay, everybody's going to start to make their way up. If you're using a dumbbell, once again, you're holding it. Same way that we did for all 3 of those standing. Okay, I'm going to reset it so you have 5 seconds on that clock. We have 2 more circuits, 1 more standing, 1 more grounded. So just stay with me. Stay with me, guys. Watch me. We'll take our feet separated for the first one. So we are going over the head again. Now watch me. Super straight arms. They're no longer bent. And that's going to take even more core activation in order to stay in that position. Then we're going to bring our feet together and we're doing a full body chop. So holding onto the dumbbell or the ball, we're going to bend and take it to the side as we swing up wherever you can with those straight arms and over that opposite shoulder, okay? So let's get the legs wide for the first one. Arms remain straight, holding onto the dumbbell or that ball. And from here, I want you to brace that core as you lift over that head and then back down. Now, if you can't come all the way over that head, that's fine, okay? Just stop at the shoulder, at shoulder height, or even lower. But if you can, coming up to a higher position over that head is going to make that core work even more. And you might feel you did a lot of shoulder work today. But what I want you to focus on is what happens when you do that shoulder work. What is happening in that center? How is that core needing to brace so you can actually make that movement happen? That is what's important. Good, let's step those feet together. Now we're going to take it to the left side as we slightly bend our knees and then kind of swing it up and over that right shoulder. This is a full body chop. And now, since we're getting that rotation in, those obliques are fired up. That hinge forward makes that lower back work. And that internal core, like all of our exercises today, working. Right here, straight arms. Lift over that head and come back down. The slower you come back down here, guys, the more you're going to feel that core have to brace as you're coming down. Keep going, guys. Just going to take a little rest so I can get through those last few exercises with you and that last final circuit coming on that floor. Keep it strong, guys. Get that last one in. Good. Now we're going to bring those feet together and we're going to come off to the right side for that full body chop. Bending the knees and then swinging it right up here. Good. Nice and easy. Separate those feet. Long arms, braced core, that internal center fired up right here. Last circuit on our feet, guys. We're gonna finish up on that floor. And again, I know that floor work is tough, but I don't want you to think about, oh, I can't do it. Think about what move you can do or hold. It doesn't even have to be a move. Can you just hold your shoulders up and engage that center instead of doing a crunch, even if it's for 2 seconds and then you lower back down, right? I don't want you to feel you can't do the moves. I want you to think about what you can do, even if it's not an option that I'm giving you, okay? I try to cover as many options as possible, but there are so many that you can do, even if it's not exactly what I'm showing you. Just make sure that form and posture is always thought about in the process of your exercises. Right here, straight arms, coming up, and our final set, right here. Let's get that standing circuit done. And we can finish up on that floor. Good, let's bring those feet together. And we got that full body chop. We're gonna go to the right with those bent knees, swing up and over that left. And release. All right, let's get that final circuit set up, guys. Bring your weight or your ball onto that floor, dumbbell or weight, and I'm gonna set those 10 seconds transitions and watch me. So we're gonna do a Russian twist to start. Now you can do this without a weight, twist side to side. You can do it with that dumbbell or with that weighted ball. Sitting up taller, smaller movement, gonna make it easier. Lower back, bigger movement, gonna make it harder. You could get one leg up, make it harder. You could get 2 legs up, and now you're really working that internal core to brace yourself in position. Okay, so lots of options there. And then we are going to come onto, hold on, let me just check. Oh yeah, we're passing. Okay, so watch me with the ball, but then I'm gonna show you the weight because it's a little bit different, okay? So we're gonna come now. If you need to stay on knees, this is fine. I'm gonna show you in that plank position just so you can see, okay? We're gonna pass the ball to the other hand, okay? And then I'm gonna bring my knee that has the ball in it to that elbow, all right? But you can do this all from the knees. Pass it, and then tap the knee to that elbow, okay? Now, if you're using the weight, it's a little bit different. Watch me. I'm gonna put my hands on the floor. I'm gonna grab it with my opposite hand, pull it, tap my knee, and now take my hand up to the floor so I can grab it with the other hand and tap my knee. Now, if I'm doing this from the plank position, same thing. I gotta put my hand on the floor first, grab it, tap my knee, put my hand on the floor, grab it over, tap my knee. Okay, so instead of, you can roll it too, so see how I'm rolling it? If you have a weight that rolls, okay? Not everybody has a weight that rolls, it might be flat, okay? So like if I was using this kind of weight, it's flat, it wouldn't roll, which is why I'm showing you that pass, okay? So you can do it either way. All right, first thing we're gonna do is that Russian twist. So you're either sitting up tall, you're leaning back, you can have one leg up, both legs up, and then you're gonna be twisting it in 3, 2, and this is it, guys. You're done after this, okay? Just hang in there with me. So the super easiest one here, I'm sitting up nice and tall, and I'm just kind of taking it side to side. If I want to make this harder, I don't feel like it's challenging enough, I'm just going to lean back, and I'm going to twist that ball bigger, If I feel like this isn't challenging enough, I'm gonna lift one leg up. Just notice which ones you'll be switching on each set. And if I feel like I wanna make it even more challenging, I'm gonna lift both legs up, hold my position, and do that Russian twist, okay? All right, guys, let's come on over here. Now again, you can stay on the knees, pass that weight or ball, take that elbow to the knee, roll it or pass it to the other side. I'm gonna come into that plank position, and then I'll bring that elbow to the knee. You can eliminate that elbow to the knee and just focus on that roll side to side, right? If you can't get this down, then you're not up to that yet. So same thing with the dumbbell. I can roll it from one hand, roll it to the other, or again, if I have to grab it, I'm here and grab it, and I'm just working on that, all right? So again, think of what you need to work on first. Don't move to that next step unless you have the step before it. All right, sitting up tall, and again, right here, twisting, small twist. If this doesn't feel challenging enough, lower back and get bigger. If this isn't challenging enough, lift one foot. I'm now lifting the opposite one that I did on that last set. And you want even more of a challenge, both legs are coming up. With that weight, that could be super challenging. I feel like too much. At any point, what can I do? Put my heels down. Start to sit up if my back is hurting me. Make smaller moves. Drop that weight, okay? All those things to take it back. All right, ball or that dumbbell, getting ready to pass it. So again, you could be here on your knees. Pass it, one hand to the other. Pass it, bring the elbow to the knee. Staying on those knees. Plank position, you could be just passing. Just holding that plank if you don't have that plank strong yet. And then if you have that down and the pass down, then just give me a little knee to that elbow as you pass it. Things to work on. Of course, you don't have to be there. All right, let's go. Russian twist, set number 3. Sitting up nice and tall, nice and easy. Again, first step would be just doing this, no weight, no resistance, okay? Adding that resistance, lowering back into it, getting bigger, lifting one leg, lifting both. If the movement's too much, work on just holding. One leg or here, you don't have to move. I'm still already engaged as soon as I get into that position. All right, rotate over. Dumbbell or that ball. Rolling, grabbing, okay? Staying on those knees if you need to. Passing from there, adding in that little knee to the elbow. Next level, coming up. Working on that plank hold, adding in that pass. And if you got that down, elbow to the knee. And I know you got a lot of arm work today. Tomorrow we're not working arms though. So this is another arm day for you with that core. Let's go. One more set. Russian twist, wherever you want to be. So you can think of it in that way. Okay? You're getting a little bit more arms in today. All right, let's get that last and final set. Getting ready to roll it. Staying on your knees. Just learning to pass it from here. Okay, adding in that little elbow to the knee. Once you pass it, coming up on the toes, working that plank, or passing that ball with that plank, passing that weight. And if you can add in that little knee to elbow, that's your final step. And done, guys. Get that ball to the side. Let's sit back on those heels and take just a moment right here and breathe. You have a lot of shoulder movement, so really get those elbows up and get a nice little stretch, walking those fingertips forward. And let's rise that head up and walk those hands over to the other side. Feel that stretch on that side. We're gonna try to get those hands outside the mat. Nice big stretch right here. Elongate those arms. And then walk it over to the other side. Outside that mat and really feel that stretch on that side. The opposite side from the mat, from the side of the mat that you're on. That's where you really want to feel it. Good, give me one more walk over to the other side. Really get that stretch. We did a lot of that oblique work today in those exercises, a lot of rotations, in that Russian twist that we just did, in those standing chops, those diagonal touchdowns, when we circle through the halos, and reach that butt, all that required that rotational movement in those obliques. And even that sit up with that twist, where we drove the knee in, all of it. And come center, good. Walk the hands a little further forward so you can get farther to the ground and lift those elbows up. And come on up onto all fours. Tuck that chin in, round that back. Look up and hollow it out. Tuck it in round. Look up and hollow 2 more times. Good, that nice stretch. All that core work that you did. One more time. Look up, hollow. And flatten out that back. Walk those hands in towards those toes. Allow that body to come up and roll your back up nice and easy. Once you come up, roll those shoulders back. And from our standing position, we're going to take those feet apart, hands on those thighs, hinge forward through that back and keep that back flat. Now round it up while you're there. Stretch and open up that vertebrae. And then take that flat back down and roll it all the way up. And then once you come here, roll those shoulders back. Good. Let's just get one more stretch here. Inhale up, lower down the left foot and reach away and feel a nice stretch all the way down that side. And let's take a deep breath in. Good. Lower down the right, lift and reach so you feel that stretch all the way through that left side. And release, take 2 deep breaths in. And exhale, one more time in. And exhale, you guys are all done. Fantastic work today. I know some of those exercises were more advanced and harder, but remember, I gave you those options and those steps for a reason. I don't expect you to be at that advanced level yet, or ever maybe. But I want you to look at the steps so that you can get to a point where you can engage your core in one of those steps. It doesn't have to be the most advanced step, okay? Just think about that core engagement, not just externally, like in our crunches, but internally, when we've got this movement happening with our body that we need to engage. And that's gonna help you throughout all of your functional activities that you have to do throughout the day. You pick up laundry, you gotta brace your core to do that, okay? So that you're supporting your back. This is what this kind of workout is all about. You want to make that core as strong as you possibly can. So awesome job today, guys. Tomorrow, opposing muscle groups, quads, and hamstrings. So we are back to that leg focus tomorrow. I'm going to add a little bit of cardio in, so expect some blasts of movement in tomorrow to get that heart rate and intensity up, okay? Make sure that you've got your dumbbells tomorrow. That's what you're going to need for that workout. And that should be it, okay? So awesome job to you guys. Remember, stay care. Tomorrow I will be on location at the JCC, so if you want to join me in person, you do need to sign up. myyjcc.org is where you can register. There is an app where you do all of the registering and keeping track of the classes that you do register for. Keep in mind, my classes do book out. So after this class, if you do want to be a part of it, go check and make sure that there's still spots available, because I am overbooking, not just booking, but I'm overbooking. There are waiting lists that are happening. So you need to get in and get in early, okay? Awesome job today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today for that internal and external core engagement. I will see you tomorrow. 9:30 is our start time tomorrow, so don't forget, okay? Bye-bye.